So today we have a 2001 Nissan Sentra, and it's here for an inspection. I went to drive it in the shop and I started it up. I heard a noise and alternator light came on. So I see the alternator was recently installed, but this pulley on the tensioner here is falling off. So maybe they loosened the tensioner adjuster belt, the adjuster's on the tensioner, and forgot to tighten it when they did the alternator. Yep, that bolt was just finger tight in there, but it shredded the belt. Yeah, they forgot to tighten this nut on the end of the tensioner bearing, because this is a manually adjusted belt by the looks of it. Anyways, we're going to lift this up and have a look at it. Needs a battery hold down. What kind of battery hold down is it? Oh, it's a clamp. Okay. So here you can see the drive belt that runs the AC and alternator is shredded and tangled up around the other one. The other one might be damaged as well. I think that's strictly for power steering, but it's flipped underneath. There's also an oil leak here. The oil pan's rusted right there. You can see there's a rusted spot there, so that's going to need replacement soon. There's a oil pressure sending unit leaking up there, and looks like the pan gasket's leaking as well. Now, to get the pan off, you got to drop the exhaust, and this exhaust is going to be questionable. It's been replaced with an aftermarket pipe in here, which are not the best quality. Okay, let's carry on to the back here. The body is actually fairly solid. It doesn't have any significant rust holes, but needs that brake hose replaced. The crimp is rotten. The line going into the brake hose is questionable. It's probably good beside the fuel tank, but you'll have to replace it from back here someplace. It's been undercoated several times, so that might save it. It needs this little jumper line here between the wheel cylinder and the brake hose. You can see the clip on the brake hose is pretty rusty. This line over here needs to be replaced, as well as the brake hose on the right side. How's this Watts link? I'll have to check this Watts link. This thing is rusty under here for sure. Looks like the fuel tank's been replaced. Let's pull the wheels. So here's the rear brakes. The drums are okay dimension wise. You got 2 1/4 millimeters of brake pad on the front here, and around 3 millimeters on the back. So the pads or the shoes are okay in the rear. Here's a closer look at that brake line. You can see, well, let's put it this way, I don't want to touch it. It's pretty compromised. The other side's basically the same. The drum's okay. This has got a little bit more on this side, about 3.5 millimeters and 2 1/4 millimeters on the front shoe. Wheel cylinders don't appear to be leaking. As long as they can get the bleeder screws loose when they do the brake hose. There's the other brake line, as you can see. Now on the front, we have a similar condition. These are coated lines, but where the line attaches to the fitting here, there's about 1/2 inch of the line here that is not coated, and that's pretty fragile. So I'm going to call that line has to be fixed. A section of the line could be put in from inside the engine bay. The brake hose should be okay, and then the question will be, will these caliper bleeder screws come loose? Because you're going to have to bleed this. This one's the same. Line is compromised where it's exposed. Brake hose crimps are okay. Well, so far I managed to get that serpentine belt back on, although it's a little frayed on the outside edge. It'll work enough for this customer to drive it home if they want to. So this has obviously been sitting. The brake rotors are thin. plus they're rusty. So it's going to need front rotors and pads. Pads aren't worn out, but you're going to have to take them off and clean the clips and everything, so you might as well replace the pads while you're there. And like I said, these bleeder screws could be questionable when they do the brake lines. Well, that's it. The belt's working now. I'm missing one rib. That's just a reflector, or is that a marker light? Looks like it's just a reflector. No, it's a bulb. So is this one out? No, I guess it's on, but it's dark. But I got the brake light, the brake pedal depressed. We got no high mounted brake light. But the backup lights work and the license light works. So other than checking the seat belts, I don't see anything else. Looks like the grid lines have been repaired in this thing multiple times. Yeah. But that doesn't have to work. There's another concern. The bumper cover's coming off. I think the clip might be broken inside here. I'm not sure about the other side. Well, it's attached, so I'll see if I can put a screw in there. Here's another problem I found. Seatbelt doesn't latch. Left outboard. Neither does that one. Doesn't lock in. I didn't try the other side. Sometimes you even forget to check these because you just assume that they're going to work. Now that one works, but this one doesn't lock in. Something's wrong with the buckle. This buckle and this buckle. Let's check the front ones. Front seat belts work fine, but the MIL is on. Why is that seatbelt indicator on? Because I'm sitting in the seat. Yeah, I guess so. So, although it's not part of a inspection, it needs to be noted that the MIL is on. The ABS light, if it even has ABS. Airbag probably doesn't have ABS. I don't recall seeing any speed sensors going to the wheels either, so I'm sure it doesn't have ABS. Low washer fluid light was on, but I filled it. Secured that fender or that bumper cover with a self-tapping screw and a body washer, so we should be good. That's it for now.